Hello, and welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. Let's get right back to the game, where we are past the prologue, and we are in the first act, where we have just arrived to an island of TTP2 and are getting to explore it. We have like this structure that looks older than anything else, and there is this hallway. I have also briefly checked the audio on my previous episode, and I feel like it works out well. I will need to check it through some additional devices, or you know, it sounds differently when you listen through the headset, when you listen it on the speakers, and when you listen it on my phone after it is uploaded to YouTube. So it's so different.
Sort of experiment here.
So my first impression that I'm not entirely drowning out. Oh no. Not the color theory. I mean, it's not that much of a color theory. Oh, what the hell? I thought you're just combining them. At the very least, out of the three colors, like we only operate three colors, so it seems relatively like straightforward. You get red and green, then you get the blue. Oh. On the universe. Straton of Stagira. A fragment from Stratons on the universe. Amintus. I grant you, then, that man is indeed like Talos and cannot escape his material nature despite the claims of metaphysics, as you have many times said. Nicomachus. Too many, perhaps. Straton. Repetition is the mother of teaching, at least when the students are hard-headed. But what does this tell us about the nature of the universe, which is what we were discussing? That is the next question we must undertake to answer. We begin with the self because that is what determines our existence as individuals, but the self cannot exist without that which surrounds it. The citizen lives within the city, and the city lives within the cosmos. So now we must apply the principle we have discovered to the wider world and ask, if man is like a machine, could it be that the universe is similar in nature? And if so, what follows from that fact? Footnotes. The use of the term metaphysics in this context is likely an error introduced in the Trebizond manuscript. The fragmentary Heracleon manuscript controversially uses superstitions instead. Novema project. Trials. Version deployed. Input-output consistent. Trials 3 to 4 insufficient something. Trials 5 and 6 power grid 2 unstable. And we have schematic. Okay. That should please our engineer.
The file format is the same one we use in New Jerusalem, although some parts aren't loading correctly. And it crashed. Hold on. There we go. Okay. You know what? I'll hack together a solution for the transport system.
Nice. I'm not done with exploration though, you know? Oh, this thing is really gigantic, eh?
Golden gates. I wonder what's behind those. Has to be something special, right?
You know what would be special? An explanation.
Oh, a cat. some kind of like a prophet or a teacher and other new humans. A new human interacting with the terminal, and there is a cat. Could that be a founder and Milton with her? Yep, that seems like a building of New Jerusalem. But that is as much as I can gather from this. You know what would be special, Wazowski? An explanation. I mean, I cannot argue, it would be nice. Yes, but can we not appreciate the mystery unfolding in front of our eyes? Oh. That was a bit unexpected. 42 is the answer. It's the answer to the big question of life, universe, and everything. I mean, we might not know the question, but we sure know the answer. Anyways. Oh. Oh. What in the world? Did this thing just build a thing?
In sleep mode, or did that thing just materialize out of thin air?
Melville, I want an analysis of that particle cloud.
On it. Anyone got a butterfly net?
Butterfly net? Any chance I can reach it somehow? Can you not climb the rocks? But I wanna explore the newly appeared structure. No, that's the basin over here, so no way, Jose. Okay. Just like that? Feel like we should have entered from another side.
Connecting the transport system to our interface. Hold on.
Whoa. Okay. So the whole island is split into regions. Within each region we have 3 puzzles. And within areas, right? And within each area we have main puzzles, lost ones, golden ones, lost labs, and stars. First, I really appreciate that you give it to me right away so that I know what I need to hunt down.
Where is the capsule taking 1K?
To that enclosed area in the eastern lowlands. I put all the information we have on the map screen. Check out your interface.
Thanks. Sorry, my bad.
We'll catch up with you soon, 1K.
Yo.
This place is magnificent. Look at that tower. I wonder what it's for.
What the hell? Okay, I do have a map screen, which is cool. Okay. Alright, alright. Before I proceed to the tower, let me scout the surrounding area a little bit. It's far enough so that you do not see the mega structure from here, which is interesting. How come that the serious Sam guys pulled this game off? It's amazing. I love it. I also begin to doubt that there is anything useful in this particular area around the transit system. Frogs! Wait, did they disappear? Oh man. Man, I love frogs. Oh no, there they are. Wait, what? They just spawn out of the thin air. That is not how frogs are supposed to operate. Oh, one is blinking. Two does not. Let's try to follow the blinking light right now. RGB shifting.
Is that a puzzle?
Why would there be a puzzle?
Let's solve it and find out. 1K, go ahead.
I have a reoccurring nightmare just like this.
RGB converter.
That device was not in the simulation.
I see how it is going. You have no tokens. You are not alone in your quest for the light. Find one of my sparks and I will free the fire hidden in this labyrinth.
Looks like Prometheus has given us a way to circumvent some of these puzzles.
So each puzzle has a backdoor. I guess the mythological Prometheus was kind of a trickster, so that tracks.
So if you're really stumped by a puzzle, you have an option to just get by. That is super convenient.
Whoa, I'm reading an enormous energy spike.
It's another particle cloud.
It's headed for the lake.
I think the cloud's been absorbed by some sort of device.
Fascinating. Melville?
Yeah. I'll add it to the pile of weird stuff.
Yeah. To my shame, I do not remember the name of that lady in the Monster Incorporated Disney movie. But I so much feel like Melville could be that lady. She completely passes the vibe check for me. Like, yeah, another weird stuff. So, I need red, which means I need anything except red, like these two. And then I need red. Oh, wait. So I need to make green for this thing, which would be this, and this. And now if you have green, you only need blue, and that would make red. Booyah!
I've been playing around with this machine that absorbs the particle clouds. As far as I can tell, it uses the energy of the particles to build giant tetrominos?
Oh no.
Excuse me?
It's another puzzle. Collect enough energy, build a bridge, access the tower. I think.
What is this, a theme park?
Maybe it's an experiment. A rat maze.
It seems like an echo of the simulation. Not a deliberate recreation, but built around the same core principles. Let's not jump to conclusions, though. What's clear is that this place was meant to be explored. So let's do that.
Not the tetraminos, bro. Don't do this to me. Don't do tetraminos to me. I will give it an honest try, but I warn you, I might give up on them. I don't like them. Was that a glitch? What the hell?
Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein, within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver, and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man? He moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, had wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of the Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man, and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics. Yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood.
Did this Talos of yours have an actual wishes and desires, or the imitations of ones?
Decorative for another puzzle.
Find my sprite and follow it until it leads you back to me. The hell? Find my sprite? Sprite? Spirit? Sprite, no. The what now? Oh man. How far does this thing go? How big of an area you have to explore? You are allowed to explore, you don't have to, of course, just go through the minimum puzzles and Bob's your uncle. What the... A very small vehicle with 3 wheels. Bridge ring, bridge machine, anyway, it's a device that takes particle clouds released by the puzzles and turns them into bridges made out of tetraminos. Correctly assembling a bridge out of 8 particle clouds is required to reach the tower, so clearly another layer of puzzles. The simulation had tetramino puzzles too, although in a different form. Could their presence here be symbolic? I have no clue. On my map, does it show me anything new? No. Hey, I'm curious, has anyone actually met 1K? By the founder's pistons, I hope he's interested in mechanical engineering or something. We desperately need more people to keep this city functional so we don't have to rely on Melville to repair the stuff that Pellegrino fixes. Hey. Remember when you fixed the door to the mayor's office? How long was Hammond stuck in there? You trap one mayor in his office for a week and you are marked for life. I hope he's an artist. What we really need is new stories, new ideas to lift our spirits. You know, if we just keep growing, we wouldn't have to worry about this and we wouldn't have to imprison poor 1K in a cage of expectations. 1K will be whatever the progenitor intended him to be and whatever the founder foresaw when she established the goal. He's polite, and really interested in history, which is an excellent start. I'm not going to name names, but some of you were a lot less impressive. I'm sure the founder's intent will reveal itself in time. Let's be vague and weird. It surely will. Right, I'm sure she'll be back any century now. Let's keep it civil, guys. Everyone can have their own opinion. The important thing is to make 1K feel welcome. It's very nice that there was actually some object back here in the end of this path, in the end of this direction, to mark, because it feels rewarding that you found something that was hidden all this way. You did not just like it now holds some weight that you explored it and you found a tricycle. Does it mean anything? No, but it makes you ponder. What does a tricycle do here, right? I would like to assume that this is another lab. And perhaps the labs provide clues to the puzzles.
Very similar to the structure where you found the schematics.
Check out the terminals. Maybe there's something that'll help us understand who built this place. They have to have left something behind.
Okay. Okay. So both doors are operational. We have a sort of a portal tech. Yep. Kill Year event from BT Odiambus Anthropocene Dilemmas. The Akkadian Empire, forged in violence by Sargon the Great and his sons, reigned supreme over the city-states of old Sumer maybe. Enriched by trade with distant lands, fed by the plentiful wet fields of Mesopotamia, the empire bestrode the world with confidence and pride. Who could oppose the chosen of Anu and Enlil as the masters of the four corners of the world? Then the weather changed. The crops stopped growing, trade collapsed, the empire fell, its capital forgotten. The most likely culprit at the time of writing is the 4.2 kiloyear aridification event at the beginning of the Megalaean Age, a non-anthropogenic drought that may have lasted almost 2 centuries, causing many of the earliest civilizations around the planet to collapse. This is where our ordinary understanding of time, measured on the small scales of human history, collides with the reality of deep time and our existence within a much bigger picture. We live on a changing planet, in a changing universe. Climatic optimums are temporary, extinction is the norm. The Akkadians, like the more egalitarian inhabitants of the Indus Valley civilization, could not understand why the rivers dried out and the rains stopped coming. Even if they could, they lacked the tools to do something about it. A few short millennia later, we are on the brink of having that understanding and those tools. What can we learn from the tragedies of the past? One such drought, completely naturogenic, would be enough to wipe out New Jerusalem for good. Okay, when the founder awoke, leaving the garden behind forever, there were 2 more whose bodies had been anointed by the progenitor. The gold disc breathed life into them, and their names were Eustachius and Cornelius. The founder showed them all she had discovered. Together they explored the dead city and saw the ruin to which humankind had fallen. It was then that the founder understood that the sins of the past must not be repeated and that only through humility could the future be saved. Aside from Cornelius and Eustachius, there were 10 whose bodies the progenitor had not anointed in due time. Now it was upon the founder to complete this work and begin the resurrection. In this matter, Cornelius proved of great assistance. After many tribulations, the 10 were brought to life, and these 12 that were born after the founder are called the first companions. Their names are Eustathius, Cornelius, Aurora, Sun, Sarabai, Byron, Melampus, Yimo, Hypatia, Niam, Benaroya, and Liftrasir. It's funny how you can take something that's 90% true and 10% false and create something that's 100% misleading. Huh? Base camp established, tested core functionality so far so good, better cooling systems necessary, unknown error in calculations. Does that, yeah, 1 out of 1 lost labs, okay, that is good. Oh, those are just servers, right? That's also fine. Oh, I have some points of interest marked as well. How peculiar. Okay. Didn't notice that. But they do not mark it anyway here, right? So you cannot get the map of the area itself. It's a nice secret nook, by the way. You could have placed a star here or something. Missed opportunity.
What can I do for you, 1K?
I don't know. Tell me about yourself.
Me? Well, I was born when New Jerusalem was a lot smaller than it is now, and there was a lot of work to do. I wasn't really interested in technical stuff, engineering and so on, but I was good at keeping things organized. So I got involved with the administration side of things, making sure the scavenging teams focused on the right materials, keeping track of our energy usage, that sort of thing. I think we've accomplished what the founder wanted us to, and I'm proud that I helped make that happen. Byron doesn't see it that way, obviously, but I think sometimes he gets so lost in his dreams that he forgets to look at the real world.
Do you consider Byron a friend?
Of course. My best friend, in fact, and someone I've worked with hundreds of times over the centuries. A good person who cares about the world and the people in it. I just also think he's wrong about everything and extremely annoying.
I like that you can disagree and still be friends.
The founder taught us that we must never lose track of other people's humanity, even if they disagree with us. We're all in this together, even if we can't always see eye to eye.
True. So true. What do you think about the megastructure?
I don't know. It's obviously impressive, but I think we should be very careful. We're dealing with powers we don't really understand.
What do you think about that lab that I found?
I think the only reason to build a lab in so remote a location is because you're trying to hide what you're doing. Or because what you're doing is dangerous.
Okay. What could these puzzles mean?
Well, puzzles, or trials, as Elohim calls them, were used as part of the process that created the founder, and they're still part of how we're born. They symbolize the human ability to understand the world and solve problems. But nowadays, they don't have a practical application. They are a common motif in the arts, though. The only physically existing puzzles I can think of are in the Museum of the Simulation. So, to answer your question, no idea.
What does the goal mean to you?
To me, it means accepting a certain amount of humility. Our ancestors thought they could master the world with no regard for any other organisms. They failed to see themselves as part of a greater whole. I think the founder realized where they went wrong and tried to offer us a different path. A path where we have a place in this world, but the world is not ours.
Yeah. I certainly have a problem with my biological imperative. This damn music sends goosebumps each time I notice it.
It's strange that some of these puzzles seem disconnected from the rest. Like it's all unfinished.
Or still evolving.
Okay, let's see. So in order to open that one, blue one, you say? So that would be red and green, right? Can it go through this space though? It cannot. It is pretty much boxed in, which is a problem. And this is pretty far away, which is also a problem. So why did you call it elevation? Like this elevation does not help. This feels like the most logical implementation of this thing. So... Ah, not cool. But maybe that is why you call it elevation. Okay. And the moment I do this, I'm screwed. Okay. Any chance that I can just yank it out of you? I actually can. Okay, okay, we are cooking here. We are actually cooking. Boom.
Keep solving these, 1K. Let's see where it leads.
Well, I assume it will go back to the bridge ring. It seems that each of the structures on the island, with the exception of the megastructure itself, is surrounded by a cluster of puzzles resembling those found in the simulation and in our booting sequence. Completing a puzzle releases a particle cloud which then autonomously flies into the device that assembles the terminus. The puzzles even come with titles hijacking the vestigial code designed to display puzzle names in the simulation. It is unclear whether this represents a potential security issue, but the matter should be given consideration.
I ran the samples I collected so far. The soil sample results are in line with what would be expected in this type of environment. The samples from the above-ground structures, though, I tried dating them, but the results just don't make sense. None of the typical molecular markers are present. These walls could have been made 10,000 years ago or yesterday. I could try to estimate an age based on erosion and plant growth, but I'm not sure that would make sense given how weird everything else is.
Good work, Yaqut. Keep at it.
Are we just... we are just chill that there is the flying thing, right? Just out here in the forest, there is a particle cloud that shows some flying thingamajig, and we are just gonna roll with it. Sure, why not? Hey! What the hell? It's a puzzle. Down there. A puzzle. An ancient mechanism of unknown functionality. Could that be some kind of like a water pump or something similar? I stumbled upon the intended path all again. Okay, I have to admit, I am getting lost. I wanted to find something like this, something off the beaten path. Interconnectivity. Okay. Cool. But then not so cool. I need... I don't need that anymore. But I will need... Okay, yeah, I can see it. So... Do I even need that? Probably not, but... We'll see. I need... You... Damn it! Seriously? Kinda not cool that you cannot shoot through the bar. Okay, cool. So that gives me a bit more options to play. Let's see, I believe it would be most beneficial to take just the blue, bring it here. So probably, maybe. No. Perhaps. Okay, wait a second, I'm cooking. Go away. Stay here. Not you. I might be one short, but maybe you have it over there. There you are. Oh gosh darn it, seriously? How much can you stretch it? Okay. But that would still not be enough for this guy, right? It is unfortunate. Because I hoped that we could build the blue circuit all the way around. Like, it goes 1, it goes 2, and then it just hits over there. Well, you can kind of still make it, right? So if you just place maybe this thing over here, you take this thing over here, you have this thing to connect to these things, and then boom. And then you take this thing, you take this thing, and boom. Shakalaka. Private message? Private message? I spoke to my friends. This whole mysterious island expedition thing has the city a bit on edge, and I have some questions for you before I make any introductions. Do you consent to my gathering and sharing your Wait, what am I signing up to? What if I, by consenting, I miss out on something else? You know what? Sure. Yeah. But, let's go ahead. I'm new in this world. I'm naive. There's 6 questions. Standard vetting procedure. We'll get the best results if you answer in whatever way is most true to you. Which is more important for making good decisions, compassion or knowledge? I reject the terms of the question. I mean, that depends on the particular decision that you need to make. If this is a mathematical question, like a mathematical problem in front of you, then obviously knowledge. If this is something philosophical, then compassion might need. So, I don't know, it depends on the... I know it's difficult to translate our infinite reality into binary language. Nonetheless, I suggest if you have any natural inclination towards either idea, you answer that way even if it is not strictly correct. But if you insist, I'll communicate your apathy to my companions. God damn it, let's go with knowledge. Is it ever okay to lie or misdirect in order to keep a secret? I don't agree with that. I don't think so. Mine is just sticky. When people do wrong, do they deserve to be punished for it beyond what is necessary for our own protection? No one deserves to suffer unnecessarily. That sounds like, is excessive violence is acceptable? God damn it, no. Doge feels like, was it Milton? The library assistant, right? The snake from the first Talos principle. In your opinion, can the world be reduced to mechanical parts, or is existence just weirder than we'll ever really know? It's both. It's neither. I feel like saying that it's either both or neither excludes, like, it makes kind of no sense. Because for me, it's either you can reduce and study it in every mechanical part, right? But then we go back to the... There was a philosophical concept, like somebody's devil or something. The idea was that if you would have... Oh god, I don't remember. I do believe that with enough complicated simulation and machinery, you can figure everything out. You can predict absolutely everything. So let's say that it is reducible to basic laws. It's all Greek to me. Can things really change for the better, for good, or do good times and bad just come around in circles, in cycles? I think stuff does go in circles. Goddammit, in cycles. There is the saying that strong people create good times, those create weak people, who in turn create bad times, but the bad times create strong people. And in my experience, it does seem to somewhat check out. So, yeah. Which is more important to the success of civilization? To respect the lessons of our past or to rewrite the rules for our future? Can I say it depends here? Because it really does. Every question, it depends. I know who this one came from. Alright, question 7. Can praying for something make it more likely to come true? I mean, yes and no. Because yes, and you may convince yourself that now it is more likely to happen. So maybe you have a better peace of mind. Maybe you will now be more confident and more calm approaching some task that you have in front of you, and maybe that will affect how you execute this task. But mechanically speaking, I don't believe that this is correct. Can brain make things come true? I don't think so. At least if we look literally how the answer is given. So I don't think that prayer has and this one is also not correct because the prayer, it has effect on you. And you are part of the world. So goddammit, how am I supposed to give an answer to that? Can it calm you down? Yes, it can make things come, but I don't like the implications of this question. God damn it. Just god damn it. So there are golden gates to the left of me, right? But I still need to find some stars, so I don't know, maybe they are found in the puzzles themselves. Oh, Byron.
Tell me, what did you make of New Jerusalem?
It does feel like a museum, but I only been to the museum part, basically.
That's what happens when all you can think about is the past. We had such ambitions in the beginning, but now it's all turned inwards. We've lost faith in ourselves, in our humanity. All we need to do now is finish that dome and we'll be trapped in our perfectly neat little tomb.
I wanted to ask you a question.
Of course, ask away.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm someone who was born a long time ago, when we couldn't afford to romanticize the past and demonize progress, when the value of human civilization was evident because it was so close to being gone. I'm someone who believes that human beings are important, terribly, desperately important, because intelligent life is rare and precious. I suppose you could say I'm old-fashioned.
What's the role of puzzles in our culture?
When Alexandra Drennan was trying to find a way of creating true AI, she stumbled upon the idea that curiosity and playfulness are core characteristics of intelligence. So she built the simulation around a game, because playing is part of what makes us human. We also retain some of that code, as I'm sure you noticed when you were booting up. Because of that, puzzles have always been important to our culture. To me, they represent the idea that the application of reason can lead us forward. None of which explains why these puzzles are here or who built them, but I think it shows that there must be some kind of intent behind them, perhaps a test.
What do you think about the megastructure?
It's a mystery. Not just because it's technologically far ahead of us, but because we genuinely don't understand its purpose. And I think that's wonderful. It's just what we needed as a civilization.
You and Alcatraz seem to have an old friendship.
Because we disagree on just about everything, you mean? Well, here's the secret. Al is honest. He believes what he believes because it seems right to him, not because it gives him power over others. I respect that. In fact, I prefer that to someone who agrees with me just because I'm one of the first companions.
Okay, is all. Oh, was that the underground? Please tell me it's gonna be the underground puzzle.
Hey 1K, what's up?
Tell me about yourself.
I don't know if there's much to tell. I'm not that interesting. I'm just a member of the scavenging team. Well, senior member. Lead scavenger, I guess. There's not that many of us left, to be honest, and Garrus doesn't get along with the mayor. What else? I have a cat named Bruce. I like old music. I have a collection of antique bottles. I think that's it.
Tell me about Bruce.
He's 5 years old, half goofball, half psychopath. Loves sticking his head into things, chews cables, pees on electrical stuff. Melville banned him from her workshop, but he loves visiting her and peeing on her equipment.
that all checks out. Why do you collect bottles?
I just find it fascinating that these fragile objects have survived for so long. Plus, they're kind of pretty.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Why did you become a scavenger?
I've always loved exploration, seeing new places, that feeling that you're the first person to set foot somewhere after all this time. But you know, it's not even that. It's just seeing new things. The world is full of remarkable sights, and experiencing them changes you. It's not the same as just reading about it.
I think discovering the world doesn't reach our lives, yes?
Exactly. Every time I go on another mission, I find something that surprises me, that extends my horizons in ways I couldn't have anticipated. The world is so much bigger than we are. It contains things that we can't even imagine, and if we limit ourselves to our own minds, we'll never grow.
Do you want to solve some of these puzzles?
Oh no, please, no puzzles. I'm so bad at puzzles. I barely got out of the booting process. Elohim thought I might be defective.
What's the farthest you've ever been from New Jerusalem?
It might be this. Although there was an expedition to a superconductor storage facility up north, incredibly well preserved, but the logistics were an absolute nightmare. Now that I think about it, there might be some of that in you.
Oh. Have you ever seen anything like the megastructure in your travels?
Our ancestors built some pretty amazing things. Huge cities, factories, mines, monuments to their history, but nothing quite like this, no.
Okay. What will that be? Trevor. Trevor Percival Donovan, known to his friends simply as Trev, never as Percy, was part of the Extended Lifespan project that formed the backbone of the simulation and the archive. He helped put together the hardware that made all this possible. Like Alexander Drennan, he left behind a series of messages to the future. But unlike Alexander Drennan or Arkady Chernyshevsky, he was forgotten. Not one building or street in New Jerusalem is named after him. I dug up his files from the archive and I've been thinking about them a lot.
So I heard that Alexandra is recording these time capsules for you out there, I guess? Robot people of the future, hi. And I thought to myself, surely they'll want to hear more than the wisdom and insight of a brilliant scientist like Alexander Drennan. Surely they also want to know what I was thinking, a dumbass hardware engineer from Staten Island. Tell us about your insights, Trevor. Why did you spend your last months on Earth helping a crazy old Russian guy build the world's biggest backup drive? Well, let me tell you my story. When I was... Yes, Frank. I'm recording right now. Uh-huh. No. You know what? Why don't you go...
But I wanna learn his story.
Another set of golden gates. These must be connected to the ones near the megastructure.
There was a harder set of puzzles in the simulation, right? And maybe they're like that. I know 1K is probably like, yay, harder puzzles. But to me, that sounds like error code 704. No thanks.
Looks like there is an additional set of puzzles protected by golden gates that can't be accessed yet. Assuming there is some kind of logical pattern to all these, those gates will probably open up once the correct conditions are met. Does that mean solving all the other puzzles or maybe something else as well? Hard to know at this point, so perhaps something we should prioritize much later. And with that, I will wrap this episode. Nice exploration of the island, nice puzzles so far. a little bit mind-bending, but nothing I can't handle yet. So thanks for that. I am a bit concerned about stars because I remember that in the first game, those were difficult for me to find out on my own, and I ended up hunting them with a guide, if I remember correctly. In any case, first I assume that it would be better to go through the puzzles and just try to keep a keen eye around our surroundings. Maybe even go to the tower once it is unlocked in this area, because stars also can hide over there, and only when we consider that the entirety of the area is explored and there is nothing else hiding around here, or at least like nothing mainline that we can find, then maybe we can go around and try to find the stars. But yeah, that's the plan for the next episode is to probably just proceed with the puzzles and eventually try to solve the bridge. I loathe the fact that those are more of these Tetris puzzles, and I think the first ones should be doable for me to deal with. But I dread when we get further and these ones will get harder. But only one way to find out how actually harder they will be, and that is to reach that point, and we're not there yet. So with that in mind, thank you so much for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay, and if that is the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. Hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.